Interesting, very special broadcast show here for you. Three amazing men I'm going to be interviewing. Mr. Craig Hill. I'll be interviewing also Mr. Rudy Munes and Mr. Wendell Betts. These men have some amazing stories, and I highly suggest that we're going to take a few minutes here. I highly suggest that you get a hold of your other team members or some guests that you would like to listen to this call, learn more about Ganoderma, learn more about our amazing products, our company, hear straight from men who have had some amazing results with our product and with our business. So again, we're very excited. Now, you can find a link for your guests at OG Academy Instagram, OG Academy Facebook. So there's a link there, and yeah, get your friends and family on, and some of your team if you can, and any of you that are already on, like, welcome. We're gonna have some fun today, lots of fun. Again, I'm MARIANNE NOAD, and I'm calling in from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, and you might even want to take out a pen and paper so you can make some notes. This will be an interactive call, and I will be taking some questions intermittently throughout the call. As we hear these stories, I will be talking about the benefits of Ganoderma. I'll be explaining stuff. So, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And again, extremely excited and very grateful to my three guests who are taking time out of their very busy schedules. And they're all great friends of mine, business associates. And that's what's so great about Organo. We don't just meet business associates, we become a family and we have great friends. So anyways, with that, we'll just wait a few more minutes. We're waiting for people to join us. We don't want anybody to miss some of this great information that's going to be shared. I want to show you my new hat. I'm going to be showing you my new hat that I received in the mail just a few days ago, a week ago. I'm going to be showing, oh my gosh, I spilled water. Okay, that's okay, that's not a problem. I'm going to be showing you also, we're going to be talking about this amazing herb. And this is what it's all about. This is what started it all. And I'll make sure that doesn't fall now. I brought that all the way from China in my suitcase, and it's traveled around the world with me. And we'll be talking more about that too. So with that, I think we're just going to get rolling here. So welcome to this call, everyone. We have people that are tuning in from all over the world, from different time zones, different countries, and we're welcoming all of you. A special welcome to guests who are listening in for the very first time. We hope that you like what you hear, and definitely want to try our products. I know you're going to want to try our products, a lot of them by the time we're finished here. So again, my name is MARIANNE NOAD. I'm calling in from British Columbia, Canada. I live on a small island off the coast of Canada, and I love it. It's quiet, it's remote. I'm living my dream. I am also an Organo Gold Diamond, and have been blessed by this company and this product. 10 years ago, I got involved, and you're going to hear more about my story a little later. Right now, I would like to take this time to thank corporate Organo for putting together this broadcast and allowing the leadership of this company to share information with you every week to help you understand our product, our business, and the opportunity. We've had, you know, great people that have been on this call previous, have been people like Dr. Bob Rakowski, a brilliant man who is, you never want to miss any of these broadcasts, but especially Dr. Bob. He'll tell you more things about your health and about Ganoderma. He's amazing, great speaker. He's international speaker. He heads up a large organization. We also have heard from Ms. Casey Nielsen, again, a Blue Diamond out of Colorado. And Casey Nielsen Martin actually is her full name, and she's a dynamo. We've heard from Mr. Steve Martin, one of my business partners. We've heard from Mr. Sam Bean, and I'll probably talk about this later on, but next week we get to hear from Mr. Craig Hill. Yay! He's going to be doing this call, and he's actually one of our guests I spoke about earlier. So Ms. Nikki Adetta, who is our retail queen out of Hawaii, we've heard her. So this is an amazing platform to bring information to you for your guests, and just for anybody that's in OrganoGold and wants to know more about how this company works and about the product. So with that, I want to thank our leadership, starting with our CEO, Mr. Bernard Chua, our CBO, our Chief Visionary Officer, Mr. Holton Buggs, and last but not least, and my personal sponsor, Mr. Shane Moran, Global Master Distributor. Mr. Moran has he has actually introduced the concept of healthier coffee to more people in the world than anybody else. So and many other things he's done. So anyways, we love our leadership. Thank you to corporate in Vancouver and Richmond, BC. And, last but not least, working with, Edward Vargas is just amazing. He helps put all of these calls together. He's instrumental in the background. Him and Christelle Roberts. Thank you both very much for your support to all of us. We're very grateful. So what is this all about? Well, what if I was to, let me just ask you a couple questions just to kind of get you going. First of all, has anybody ever heard of an herb called Ganoderma? That's really basically what our company is all about. We are a healthier living company offering all kinds of amazing products that are life-changing to you. We're in approximately, I think we're over 40 countries now. We've been in business for 10 years. We've broken all kinds of records in the industry of network marketing. We are a Canadian company, and we started off very humbly, very small, in Richmond, and we've grown tremendously. Why is that? Power of the product, leadership, compensation plan, simple business, one team, one dream, all types of reasons, great reasons. But at the end of the day, everything that we have, all our products are centered around something called Ganoderma. Now, Ganoderma is an herb that was recognized in Asia thousands of years ago. It's held in very high reverence for its abilities to help the body, to give us a better quality of life. And one thing I want to say right off the get-go is that we do not make any disease claims. We do not prescribe or diagnose. This call is, we're here to tell stories and to share information. And what we do know is that the body's ability to self-heal, its design is perfect. So with that, I want us to always, remember that. What if there was something that was, easy, affordable, that worked quickly, that you got quick results, that would help the body to perform at optimal levels, that would improve energy and sleep? What if it helped you to be calm and relaxed, and be able to deal with daily stress? Because we know one of the biggest killers in life, the biggest contributors to disease, is stress. What if it was a superfood, and what if it was nutrient dense with antioxidants and minerals and many other components that would awaken the body, that would feed the body? So I think that a herb that actually would support the function of your immune system, that would wake your body up, and so that the body would actually remember what it needed to do. What if we started enjoying this herb through coffee, tea, hot chocolate? What if it was through energy drinks? What if it was through, and these are all healthy products, I want you to know, because energy drinks right now usually don't fall in that good for you category. What if we had an amazing drink that helped the body to detox and clean you out on a cellular level? What if we had soaps? What if we had toothpaste? What if we had a shake that is transforming people's lives, right? All of these things. If we give the body what it needs, it will do its work. We're so good at giving it what it doesn't need. We're not very good at supporting it. Many of us don't eat properly. Many of us don't drink enough water. We're not getting enough rest, and we certainly aren't moving our body enough. So in combination of taking Ganoderma and, cleaning up your diet, moving your body, and starting to drink some water, there are some amazing things that are happening. And some of these stories are just, I'll tell you, in 10 years, I have heard thousands and thousands of stories. With our new products that have been launched in the last couple of years, these stories have went totally, viral. It's crazy. And you know what? They're not just stories that we tell. We actually have pictures. We can actually see the difference in people. So with that, we're going to talk a little bit right now. We're going to go into some of these stories with our people, with our guests. I'm going to start off with a good friend of mine that I've known for many years. He's my OG brother. He's a business associate. He's a very respected leader here in Oregano. He's a diamond consultant who heads up a large organization in the U.S. and internationally. Mr. Craig Hill is well known for he's called Coach. That's his nickname, because he has such a huge heart, and he makes it priority to coach and help people. He is he's one of the biggest helpers out there, and he knows and embraces. Not only do you show people what to do, but you have to help them to become somebody different, something different. If you become something different, you'll get to attract other things into your life. New things will come to you. So Craig, I'm going to bring him on right now. Mr. Craig Hill, welcome to the call. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life. How are you today, sir?
I am doing fan-terrific. I am stuck between fantastic and terrific. How are you over there, Marianne?
I am so excited to have you on this call. I just can't even begin to tell you. And what an amazing story you have. You've got many stories. You and I had a call. We actually shared a call a couple days ago, and we're trying to sort through which one would be the best one to share. So I said, I'll let you pick, and you did. You picked. And Craig, I'm just going to hand it over to you. You've just got such an amazing story. We're going to show some pictures, before and after pictures. And maybe what you can do is you can start off by, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how old you are, if you don't mind, and a little background. And then, feel free to just move into your story.
Well, absolutely, and always thrilled, excited, and delighted, and yes, even honored to be on this broadcast with you. When we got started in this company, a little over 8.5, almost 9 years for me. It'll be 9 years this coming up summer. And when we first got started, we had none of this technology that we had right now. And the only way I was able to see your wonderful face was at the events. But now, because of technology, I can see you anytime I want to. So it's always great to be in your presence. And this company has changed my life in so many ways, so many fantastic ways. I always tell people, your life's going to change. It's really up to you whether or not it's going to change for the better or worse. But Organo has definitely changed my life for the better, and my wife's life, my daughter's life, and many, many people that I've been able to connect with because of this opportunity. So I'm eternally grateful to Organo for this opportunity and the platform and just the products. I mean, you want to go to the products, we can talk about that a little bit later, but I'm 52 years old. I know I don't look it, thanks to Ganoderma, healthy, shiny skin there. And I feel like I'm really back in my late 30s, you know what I mean, because of the product and what it's been able to help me to do. But when I got started with this company, I have two stories. That my origins to this company is that anybody can do it. My first story is that I was the third person Mr. Holton Bugs had talked to a guy named Edwin Haynes, who's a multimillionaire here with the company, and another lady named Kim Phillips about this opportunity. And I happened to be the third person to walk through his door to actually hear about this organo business. After hearing it, after hearing that it was about coffee, I thought that he was crazy because I knew that he didn't drink coffee. I didn't drink coffee. The only person I knew that drank coffee was my wife, and she had her favorite. So I'm like, how am I going to tell my wife not to drink that and drink this, right? And so I left out of there after many, many hours of spending time with my friend. Me and Mr. Bugs been knowing each other for a while there. And the next day I made a decision, guys. And every decision that you make will eventually make you or break you. And the decision that I made broke me. It went on for about a year because I told him no. I said, no, not for me. I'm not looking to get in any of this Ganoderma coffee. And you know what? He just went on out there and started sharing it anyway. It didn't stop him. It didn't keep him from being successful. And I saw that the company was growing. So I was one of those doubting Thomases, if you would. But guess what? I'm still on board because it took me a year. I gave him a phone call and I said, Bugs, I see that this is working. People are enjoying the coffee. Tell me more about it. And that goes to show you the type of leadership that we have here with Organo, because he could have told me, nah, you missed your shot. Nah, that's okay. But he said, you know what? Absolutely. Come on over. I sat back down with him. The decision was made. The die had been cast. The line had been crossed. And that's millions of dollars ago now. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it because it's the truth. That's how I got started in Organo. That lets you know, guess what? Anybody can do it. Even the people who are dumb enough to say no to a multi-millionaire. And I got started in the company. And like I said, it wasn't a coffee drinker. That wasn't my thing, but it was something about when I put my mouth on that mocha. It was the mocha that got me. Ain't no joke. It was the mocha, and I fell in love with the taste of it, and I really fell in love with what it wasn't doing to me. I tell people all the time, Marianne, that it's not that people don't like coffee. It's that they haven't found a coffee that they do like. And when I started to drink Organo, it didn't give me the upset stomach. It didn't give me the headache. It didn't give me the jitters. It didn't give me all the things that I was getting from other coffees that I attempted to drink with all the bad side effects. And that's what made me fall even more in love with it. And then guess what? Once I got the taste for it, then I started trying other coffees and I fell in love with them. And now I am a 3-cup-a-day coffee drinker. What? You know, it's crazy. I drink about 3 cups a day, and my wife does too. So we down some boxes of the product over here for personal use. And I can tell you unequivocally, since I've been drinking the product, every time I go to the doctor, I go in there bold, you know, very bold. Not worried at all. And when they do all my tests and everything, they come back and they're like, you're good to go. You're healthy. I'm like, yeah, that's that Ganoderma, baby.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, Craig, you started a couple years ago. We started and we came out with a new product called OGX. And tell us a little bit about that product and your experience with that.
Well, when the company first started talking about the product and everything, I was approximately about 268 pounds. I know that sounds like a lot. I'm kind of muscular because I used to lift weights in my earlier days, so I can kind of like hide the fat, if you know what I mean. But I know within myself, I was probably over about 40 pounds overweight, a good 40, even with my muscle and everything like that. Y'all see the muscle?
I see it.
Yeah. So I wasn't really, you know, feeling myself or whatnot. And they started to give out the testers, and I missed the testers. So I was kind of upset. I made phone calls to my sponsor. I'm like, hey, when I'm going to get some of the product over here? They hurry up and they ship me out some of the products. And I was kind of like curious of what the taste of it really was because I had never tasted it up until that time. And when I tell you the taste of the product blew me away. I'm like, if this is what's going to get me the results that I want, I'm definitely going to get them. So the first thing I did, I set myself a goal that I wanted to hurry up. I wanted to be able to terminate. I don't call it losing weight because I don't want it to come back, but to be able to terminate 10 pounds right away. So I got my hands on the product and I went straight to the 2 shakes a day. 2 shakes a day, 1 in the morning when I woke up and 1 for lunch, and then I start to actually eat a regular meal. In between that, guys, I'm just giving you the truth. I'm not going to butter this up or anything. I would snack on Ritz crackers. I snack on some fruit sometimes. I snack on the little healthy bars or whatnot. But I didn't want to starve myself, which I didn't. I didn't want to be skipping meals, which I didn't. I didn't want to tell my wife now she's got to prepare different meals or anything like that. It was the regular meals that she actually made for me. And within the first month, I lost right at about 18 pounds. I terminated 18 pounds just from drinking the shake. And it was a shock. It really was. The slide that you guys are looking at, those are the same pants that I had on when I took the actual thing. And I just stayed on it, and it just melted away. My exercise routine, Marianne, you get this. I have a Maltese. My exercise program is walking my Maltese around the block 2 times. That's my exercise program. I did a few crunches, but nothing where, serious or whatnot. And it really did. It just melted away. And
what you're saying here, Craig, is that you replaced 2 meals. You had a shake in the morning, and you had 1 at lunchtime. You had snacks in between, and then you had a regular meal, a regular dinner. And,
very regular.
And just, it's not like you said, your wife wasn't cooking, anything new. You didn't really up your exercise program. You just basically kept doing what you were doing. And you got those kind of results in 30 days. That's amazing. And I mean, you know what? Pictures don't lie. These are amazing set of pictures. Now tell me, Craig, what is the difference that you feel before and after since then?
After a what now? I didn't catch the last part.
How are you feeling before? How was your energy levels? Did you have were you feeling kind of like energy levels weren't too high? Did you have like a knee that bothered you because you're carrying a little bit of excess weight? Kind of tell me, how you felt.
Well, Marianne, to be honest with you, it's kind of humiliating when you think about it. Little simple things like tying your shoe, being able to reach down and tie your shoe without getting out of breath. Being able to know that, some of the things that I used to do with my daughter, some of the things I like to do with my wife, it just became more enjoyable. It didn't seem like it didn't become a task anymore. When you're out of weight and you're out of balance, and I always say you're out of alignment, when you're out of alignment, the simple things now become drudgery. You start to drudge. Okay, I got to do this. I got to take the garbage out. I got to do this. Now that, you get rid of it, you want to do things. You're like, okay, what else can I do? What can I do now? Okay, I can go walk the dog. Oh, I can go down here. I can go do this. And it just opens up those doors that have been shut for so long that now, you can start walking through those doors. You can start to, wear those clothes that are in the back of the closet that you told yourself, one day I'm going to wear that jacket. One day I'm going to wear those jeans. One day, and that day actually comes because of the product. And it's really, really amazing, especially when your wife and daughter start looking at you and going, okay, all right, yeah. And I want to stress again, my regular meal was a regular meal. So I wasn't skipping no meal at night. I made sure I ate. And this is for me. And I've seen this happen through a plethora of people, that they're getting results because the product tastes great, which means you want to take it. It's inexpensive, meaning that you're not breaking yourself by using it. You know that, it's going to cost you $1.50 a meal, which is less than what you actually pay out there in the marketplace for meal replacements or for a regular meal or something. And then when it comes down to the longevity of it is that that it's going to be delivered to you. I don't have to go out and get it. It comes to me. So it makes it very, very convenient. So,
affordable, tastes great. Comes in two different flavors, vanilla and chocolate. You can add fruit if you want, add some milk if you want. I want you to know there's 13 grams of protein in this product, which is super important. Protein is the building block of the whole body, so we need adequate, good protein, absorbable. It's 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is amazing. All these people are telling us, I used to have some stomach issues. The digestion wasn't that great, but with this prebiotic fiber in the shake, that's a contributing factor that really helps with the success of this. I won't get it too much into it right now. Ganoderma, amino acids. We have vitamins and minerals. It's simple, it's fast, it's delicious. 110 calories if you don't add milk. If you add milk, 250. If you add a little bit of fruit, maybe a little bit more. But some of the recipes, well, I'm just going to share my favorite recipe. You know, healthy fats are really super important, so I add them into my shake. Half an avocado, a little squirt of MCT oil, which comes from the coconut, not too much, just a bit. Some fruit, a mango, mix that all up. I throw an extra 4 or 5 ice cubes in, and I'll tell you what, it's so delicious. And I mean, we have amazing, it just tastes awesome. It's not chalky. Yeah, it's a super product. And Craig, you look younger. Did you have people that were actually coming up to you that, you know, knew you and go, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're going to get that within my organization, obviously, but then just, you know, people that's in the family, when you go visit them or whatnot, they're kind of like, okay, that shake really does do what it do. And I tell people all the time, I said, well, it gives me hope, and it gives you hope as well. And hope for me stands for helping ordinary people to excel and to be able to, you know, stay healthy. And you don't have to be somebody special. You don't have to be a gym rat. You don't have to go in the gym for 2 hours a day and be stuck on a treadmill and all that. The things that you just dread to do. You want to be in shape, but, you know, you just don't have the time. You just don't have that. You don't want to do that no more. And, you know, my family members, they actually ordered a product. My friends ordered a product. A guy that I always buy clothes from, when I went in to actually get some new clothes and stuff, he said, man, you really have, you dropped about 2 sizes. You know, when you start to be able to wear that jacket that you couldn't button up, and now you're able to overlap it, there's a difference. There's a huge difference there. Amazing. And yeah, they notice for sure.
Well, and one thing that I hear a lot from other people too is that, and I mean, I use the shake every day myself, and I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like I'm wanting anything more. It satisfies me. Again, I'm like you. I have snacks. I do, you know, 1 to 2 a day, but usually just 1. I'm a light eater. But anyways, Craig, thank you so much for hopping on, because I know you're super busy. And congratulations to all your successes, because there's many. But first of all, I mean, the biggest congratulations I'm going to give you is loving yourself enough to take care of yourself, and you know, taking care of your vessel, taking care of the body, because it's what carries us through life. And, you know, I think a lot of times when we're younger or in the middle of things and we're too busy, we don't take care of ourselves. And later on in years, you know, you can't go back. You can't go back and change that. You can start something new. The beauty about this is that if you are a person who doesn't have, you know, maybe you didn't take good care of yourself, it's never too late. The body is forgiving. You can start to feed it some superfood. We call Ganoderma superfood. It's normal. Our design is to, you know, if we feed the body, it's going to respond correctly. So anyways, thanks, Craig. You're the best. Absolutely. And we'll be definitely looking for your broadcast next week. So have an amazing day. Thank you. And if we have any questions that come in just for you, you know, I might bring you back.
Yeah, I'll stay on. I want to hear these other incredible testimonies. Definitely. Okay,
great. Thank you. Well, our next guest is a friend and a business associate, and from Colorado. And I met this gentleman and his wife at an event, actually, in Colorado, and of course at our OG events. They never miss any corporate OG event. They've got a perfect attendance record. Mr. Rudy Munes. Now, Rudy, if you don't mind coming on, welcome to the call. You and I again had an amazing conversation. I've been really blessed to have conversations with each and every one of my guests today. and the past weekend. And so it was just such a treat to visit with you and really learn more about you and connect on a deeper level. So welcome to this call. Welcome to this broadcast, and thank you for being on.
Good morning, Marianne. I appreciate that introduction. My name is Rudy Munes. I'm calling from Colorado, Greeley, which is northern Colorado. And basically, I'm 64 years young. I just celebrated a birthday last month, and I'm feeling great.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm an educator, a teacher, if you will, by profession. I have the day off. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
So, you know, I would like to share my story because it began under rather unusual circumstances.
Okay.
I'd like to hear that. My story began with, well, not a brag about kind of occasion, but I was involved in an accident. And Organo actually happened just a few weeks after the accident. So my accident, let me briefly go over that. I was a pedestrian in a crosswalk, and I was struck by a car who was taking a right turn. And that right turn took me off of my legs. Basically, it knocked me over, and the injuries I sustained were numerous, but not detrimental to my life. Just to describe a few of the injuries, I had a lower back and upper neck issue with the discs, which were bluntly forced forward just enough to give me a lot of discomfort. I had a clavicle break. Clavicle bone was broken. I also had numerous impact bruises all over my body. My knee was compromised with tears. After all of that, I was in pretty bad shape. The doctors did a wonderful job with me. The therapy lasted 8 months to get me back to normal, where I could actually go to work. I wanted to, I asked one question of the surgeon, the person who saw me about my back, and I says, how bad is it? Will it be the rest of my life? Because I was really hurting. I was able to walk. I was fine, but I had a lot of pain down the back of my spine. So with the epidural shot he gave me, that was supposed to last a year. That would knock out some of that pain and get me down to tolerable levels. But I was still uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep well. From the start, it was very hard to sleep and rest during those 8 months. So it was quite a trial. But literally, let's start 2 weeks after I was sent home. 2 weeks after the accident, I was home and I got a visitor. Knocked on the door. It was a young man who used to live across the street from our home, and he brought over some coffee samples and a few hot chocolates. Now, he had no idea that I was laid up. He had no idea. He wasn't here for that. He initially just wanted to drop off some samples for my wife and I. He did. I reluctantly, I accepted the samples. I said, thanks, I appreciate these. And he said he would be in touch with me. I didn't understand what he meant by that. So 2 weeks later, after the products were in my hand, he calls me and he asks me, how did you like it? Like what? I literally put those samples on the shelf in the kitchen, and I did not consume them. So he challenged me. This is where my story really got rolling. He challenged me to try the samples. He was willing to leave me 2 weeks supply of coffee. Can you imagine that? I thought he was after a sale. So I offered, you know what, let me buy a box off you. Let me help you out. I thought I was helping him out until I got on the products. He challenged me to drink only his coffee. I called it his coffee because it wasn't mine yet. So I did. For 2 weeks, I drank the coffee. But you know, I didn't realize it until after the 2 weeks how well I was resting, uh, relaxing. I was healing slowly. The therapy was just hurting me over and over again. But without listening to the therapist, he kept saying, you need to take 3 Tylenol 3s each time you come to visit me because I'm going to stretch you and I'm going to pull you and we're going to get you straightened out. Well, I don't like to take pills. So I didn't need to. I was drinking the coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I could drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning. That's easy. I used to be a Starbucks supporter. Oh my gosh. Let me give you a comparison about what I was spending there. $250, $300 a month. That's how much coffee I could consume. But getting back to my OG story is this. I was feeling much better. I was resting. I was healing, even with the procedures, the doctor's visits, and the therapists. 8 months. And this was one of my concerns. At first, I was gaining weight. I wasn't active like I'm used to being. And the weight loss stopped about 3 months into the product. I watched my weight. I don't like to be heavy. At the time of my accident, I was 224 pounds heavy. Well, I actually dropped 12 pounds in less than 4 months. With the beginning of the product use, right around September, for 4 months.
You know, I'm going to stop you right there just for a moment.
Sure.
What happens with the body? And people, maybe some people are thinking you're drinking, coffee that's enriched with Ganoderma. And our Ganoderma is grown, in a pristine, clean part of China, way up in the Wuyi Mountains. And our capsules are 100% certified organic. But, people are wondering, well, how could that be? What I think is what's happening, because I'm a holistic health practitioner, for those of you, if I forgot to tell you that in the very beginning of this call, and I've been doing that for many, many years, and also an herbalist, is that when the body starts to get high nutrition and you start to change, I remember you telling me also, Rudy, that you started to drink more water. You weren't a water drinker before. You actually started to feel better. You started to eat different, right? Is that correct, Rudy? Yeah.
Yes.
And so when you make these changes, all kinds of things will start to happen. And one of them is that you'll start to detox. So your body will start to clean itself out because now it's getting water. It's getting high vibrational food. You're getting rest. All of these things contribute. So I think that what started to happen was that you were probably starting to slowly detox, and fat will hold on to toxins. And once those toxins are released, the body goes, you know what, I don't need to hold on to this fat. And it'll do that if you were to just get a really, really clean diet. But it goes so much faster with Ganoderma, right? So I'm going to hand that back to you. So, that could be a reason why, were you starting to, because you weren't really moving around that much. You're still recovering from your accident, correct?
Not at all. Not at all. And that really spooked me a lot. I couldn't even go out in the yard and push a lawnmower around. I was very concerned because I did pick up a few pounds, like within 2 or 3 weeks of the accident. And I just wasn't going to have that. So I would get up and walk, arm in a sling, and do what I could, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. So this young man who had brought the samples over, I asked him if he had anything else, food or any kind of nutrition that I would be able to consume. He brought over teas, the mocha, oh, one of my favorites. I got the energy charge that I needed to be more active. And because of the less swelling that went on with my body, I was able to endure that. I had more energy. It was great. I didn't initiate a workout plan until like just less than 2 years ago. Now, this happened 6.5 years ago, this accident. Less than 2 years ago, I started to be more active. I had tons of energy. The new products that were coming out were enabling me to maintain my weight, if not lose the weight, and be active. Magic formula. I am truly, truly committed to the OG product experience. I would never, never give it up.
Now, let me just jump in here real quick again, because I definitely want everybody who's listening to hear this too. I remember, Rudy, you telling me that you weren't familiar with the capsules. You actually incorporated the capsules into your regime years later, and your whole sense of well-being went up to a whole new level. Of course, we have a capsule line that's just absolutely amazing that we'll talk about sometime here. Again, our capsule, we actually, we can say through Health Canada that our Organo Gold, Organo's capsules will support the function of the immune system, which is huge. We have a natural, natural health. We're a natural health product. We have a number. Health Canada is one of the strictest countries in the world for monitoring nutraceuticals. So we're very, very proud of our capsules, and I think a lot of people forget about them. Now, I know also, and I'm just going to kind of just take this a little bit quicker because we have another guest speaker here, but I don't want to miss anything. And you also got on the OGX like Craig. And quickly, can you tell me what happened with those meal replacement shakes?
The meal replacement shakes, I initially wasn't into meal shakes, but I did try them and I loved the flavor. That's what captured me. It's easier to take a shake for me in the morning for breakfast. I need to be at my school by 7 a.m. I had no time to prepare anything, but I was amazed at the fact that it took care of my hunger. I could drink a shake in the morning. I felt great for 3 or 4 hours. I was fine until lunchtime. So long story short is I made an effort to drink 2 shakes because there was a teacher at school. They give us 15, 20 minutes for lunch break. So I was actually having 2 shakes a day. I noticed I was feeling just fine. I had a sensible meal for supper. I always made sure of that. My wife and I would make sure we had a good meal. But I was feeling great. I lost more weight. I felt.
How much weight have you lost total with the Organo Gold products?
Total, it was 224. I weigh 170 now. So it's basically 54 pounds.
Wow.
Since I began with the Organo products, yes.
You look amazing too. No way do you look. Would you say 64?
I am 64.
Oh, I don't believe that. Seriously. And you know what? I'm going to jump in again real quickly because there's you said something that really interested me, and I want to briefly touch on it, and then talk lightly, maybe for a minute, about something that's hanging on your wall behind you. We'll talk about that in just a moment. You know, you said something about mental clarity and your creativity. You feel that, you know, as you get older, I don't know how many people you hear say, you know, that their memory isn't the way it used to be, or they can't, you know, they're talking about, you know, things just aren't as sharp as they used to be. But you said some really interesting things to me on Saturday, and you said, you know what, I feel like a mental clarity, a sharpness, and that your creativity is actually heightened, and you are actually thinking of new ways to stimulate your students, and you're having so much fun with that.
Yes, we do projects, a lot of projects. As you well know, some people aren't too multitask oriented. Well, I became that way. I never used to be able to do that, but I can get 3 or 4 projects going at the same time with my kids. I love creativity. I work with that all the time, and I allow my kids to do the same thing. It did increase that, and I was so pleased with it because I was wide awake.
Yeah.
With kids all day.
And, you know, I hear that a lot. I experience it. And over the years, I've heard that, you know, that people feel like that their focus is heightened. Now, quickly, what is hanging behind you on that wall there? I saw there's a star. You've received an award here.
Yes, my wife and I owe so much of this effort for our business to my wife. She manages our business very well. My wife and I are 55-star achievers at this point.
What does that mean? What does that mean, 55-star achievers?
Well, for 55 consecutive months, we have ordered a case or more of product. We move a lot of product. We share a lot with family and friends and with strangers.
So let me get this straight. You start off as a customer. You started to feel some benefit, and then you started to share it with friends and family. They felt benefit, and I know you've got a whole bunch more testimonies that you could tell me about your father-in-law who has Alzheimer's and all kinds of things.
Gosh, yes.
You started to share it, and you saw an opportunity to create some income.
Yes, we did. We saw that about 2 years into the product use. We saw what it did for myself. My wife loved it. She was not a coffee drinker. She became a coffee drinker. So yes, the benefits of owning your own home business is outstanding. Why anyone would not take advantage of that opportunity, I don't know.
So you're saying so a lot of tax breaks too. I think a lot of people don't think about the fact that when you are operating from a home, you know, having a home-based business, there are a lot of write-offs that you can enjoy as you're also increasing your income. So that's amazing. You know, I just want to say thank you so very much for taking time and for being one of those amazing teachers that takes a lot of pride in what they do to influence the children that come that are, you know, end up in front of you. We all appreciate that. Thank you for sharing this opportunity and being big-hearted and making a difference in this world, because that's what this product does. That's what this company does. That's what this business does. People get to choose which they want to be. If they want to be a customer, if they want to, you know, get into the business and do it part-time. Nobody really does this full-time. It's many people are doing it part-time with their full-time jobs. So thank you very much, Rudy, and God bless you, and take care.
Big Hill, all of our leadership, you guys lead the way. We will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a wonderful week.
You too, Marianne.
Thanks. Okay, well, our next guest, we're not running out of time, but time is going, and this call is like just under an hour. We might go a little bit over. Do know that it's recorded. If you guys have to hop off, I'm going to check real quick here. We've got a question. I'm just going to see what the question is. Oh, okay. They're wondering, you know, what would I recommend for the capsules, the Ganoderma, the spores, and the mycelium. So here's a quick answer for you, is that the capsules are like a catalyst for each other. So they help each other to work, and they all do kind of the same but different things. So because I really want to get my next speaker on, I'm just going to say that I recommend that they are all taken together. And even the grapeseed. So we have the mycelium, we have the spore powder, we have the Ganoderma. And I promise that I will come and do, you know, maybe half of a call just on the capsules and breaking things down, you know, and exactly why our product is so unique. But anyways, don't forget the grapeseed. The grapeseed extract helps the body to absorb the Ganoderma, and it actually is full of a lot of antioxidants. So there is a reason why we have 4. They should all be taken together. Start off slow, listen to your body. Your body's always communicating with you. Drink lots of water. and just add it. It's like food. I'm not even going to tell you how much I take. I've been on Ganoderma. I've been taking Organo Gold's Ganoderma 10 years. And before that, I took another product of another company's product for 6 years. And that the Ganoderma, the high quality that Organo offers is second to none. And you have to know that as a background of herbology, the way the plant is grown, and you know, you get to know your body. I can tell the difference. So anyways, take them all, start slow, drink water, listen to your body, and add them. And I recommend, you might want to start off with just one a day of each, lots of water, and then halfway through the day, after about a week, you might want to add a couple more. Some people start off with more, listen to your body. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to Mr. Wendell Betts. I met Wendell, I think it was, anyways, it was a few years back. Was it 2013, something like that? Anyways, in Montreal, I was at an event there, was one of the speakers, and there was a bunch that had rented a bus and drove out from Eastern Canada, and he was on that bus. And when I met Wendell, he looked much different than he does today. He's got a powerful story. He's a Ruby consultant in Organo. He has a large organization. He moves tremendous amount of product every month. He's constantly out there sharing product, retail and product. And so, you know, I mean, his distributors follow him. They do what he does. Now, Wendell's also a John Maxwell graduate. He he's a public speaker. He's paid to go and speak and tell his story. Wendell is also an author of a best-selling book, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. Wendell is my friend. He's my business associate, and he has a heart of gold, and his mission is to make a difference in as many people's lives as he can with his story and leading by example. So with that, I'd like to bring on Mr. Wendell Betts. Welcome to the call, sir.
Thank you, Marianne. And it was actually February of 2014 that we met in Montreal. And one of the greatest people my wife and I ever met was Miss Marianne. She's the lady that has the heart of gold, because her whole life is invested in people. And my wife Sharon and I, we are so grateful for the leadership of Organo, from Shane Moran to Colton Butts to Bernie Chua and their wives. They do such an amazing job of helping us be better. And why wouldn't I want to pour that back into the people that I want to do every day? My goal every morning when I get up is who can I meet today? Who am I going to meet today that I can pour value into? So I thank you for being the lady who knew Ganoderma and saw the wonderful opportunity that Shane Moran presented. And if not for that, we wouldn't be here today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate your kind words. Wendell, you've got such a unique story. I'm just going to sit back and let you jump in. And every now and then, if I feel I'm going to I just want to train as we go, yes. I'll do that. But take over. And I know it's a long story and you've told it before, but you're so amazing at telling it and keeping it compact. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you for this great opportunity. I was born with a problem breathing in my lungs, and suffered with that all through my childhood. I could never run as fast as my brothers could. I could never play baseball or hockey as strong as my family and friends could. But it didn't stop me from doing it. It never became my life. It was in my life. I was 14 years old and I got double pneumonia, both lungs. Actually lost 28 pounds in 12 days because I was so ill, and scarred my lungs for life. And from there on, anytime I got a cold, I would get pneumonia, and I would end up in the hospital. And actually, in 1988, my family physician here in New Brunswick, the east coast of Canada, and so he strongly suggested that I move to where the weather was warmer, and my former wife and I had an opportunity to move to Florida, and that's what we did. We spent 11 years there, and in 1999, my lungs were still deteriorating, and so we had an opportunity to move to where the weather was dry in Phoenix, and we did that. And I've got to say this: I never was a smoker, so it wasn't something that I did that messed up my lungs. It was just something that happened at birth, a genetic thing. And so
we're looking at this picture. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to bring some attention to this picture. You're on oxygen here, correct?
Yes, that picture was taking, it'll be 5 years next month that this picture was taking.
Okay, so did you have to use oxygen quite a bit at that time?
24/7.
Wow.
I was diagnosed with real bad lungs. My lungs actually went to 23% in February of 2012. This picture is a year later, and that's how fast you deteriorate when you go on oxygen, because you just rely on the oxygen and your body doesn't want to breathe in what God has put in the universe is real oxygen. So you just deteriorate very fast. I was in my doctor's office one day, and we had the conversation where she said the next time I get sick would very likely be the last time I would get sick. But I chose that day. I made a decision in my mind that I wasn't going to take my doctor's say so. I was going to be a fighter. I've always been a fighter. And when you grow up with 5 brothers, you become a fighter. So I made a choice that I was going to do things differently, and then things started coming into my life. And so it was in late August of 2013, that a couple who used to come by every once in a while and check in on us just to see how we were doing. And they were really good friends, and they blessed us at times, even monetarily wise, when we were having a difficult time. And they dropped us off some samples of coffee. We drank coffee. My wife and I love coffee. So they gave us a business card and said if we wanted to know more, they would possibly be an opportunity there too. And we were actually in a position where we were 30 to 60 days away from possibly losing our home.
Oh, so not only were you crashing on a health level, but on a financial level, things were falling apart around you too. The stress must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, and stress creates more health situations, and it was very difficult for my wife. She actually, in 2013, had to retire from her job. And 34 years working in the hospital to stay home to take care of me. And the very first picture there, in those days, Sharon actually would have to, she would have to help me dress.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that on my own. I couldn't shower on my own. It wasn't safe for me to be in the shower. I wasn't strong enough to do that. So it's a powerful story. And so we looked at the coffee. We knew nothing, absolutely nothing about the benefits of Ganoderma, but we loved the flavor of the latte. And so we started drinking it, and we thought, well, this is an opportunity where we can make a few extra dollars and stay in our home. And that's what we looked at. 21 days exactly after I started drinking the coffee, I stopped using oxygen.
Now, I'm just going to pop in here real quickly. We're not, doing any disease claims or anything like that, but we talk about Ganoderma, we talk about our capsules and our organic Ganoderma and the benefits and whatever, superfood. So basically you are getting, and that's what coffee is, it's a food product that is enriched with another food product. Right. So this high quality food product got into your body, and your body woke up and said, oh my gosh, I know what I'm supposed to do. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, and it's a natural oxygenator. So my mind and my body started getting more oxygen, so I didn't need to use the tank to have the oxygen pumped in. And I had lung tests done, which are called pulmonary function tests. And when you see that first picture where I was on that tank, my lungs were actually at 23% at that point in my life. 3 months later, after I start using the coffee, my lungs increased to 29%. 6 months later, 34%. 6 months later, 40%. So it's really a powerful story. This is on the walking bridge in the city of Fredericton. We call it the Bill Thorpe Walking Bridge, which I do what we call walking the bridges. This is our second year for doing that. I walk as a fundraiser for the Lung Association to help people who were in the situation where I was in. And
So 5 years ago, you couldn't walk. You could hardly get out of bed.
right.
Couldn't get oxygen around. And now, can you tell me, Wendell, how far can you walk now?
That's a good question. I know last fall, before winter set in, there was one day here in November. It was really nice, and I walked 10 kilometers that day.
Wow.
So it's nothing for me to walk 5 or 6 kilometers, and
Wow.
I'll go on a treadmill and do 2 to 5 miles.
Now, Wendell, can I ask you? I'm just keep popping in here, and thank you for allowing me to, because I'm just asking questions that I want to know, and I'm sure everybody else wants to know also. Can you kind of tell us where you're at with your lungs right today? And I know that you incorporated the spores, and we're going to talk about the capsules here in a little bit. And then, again, we're going to talk about the OGX quickly. So where are you sitting at now with your lung capacity?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I'm between 70 and 80% from what I'm able to do. I am like Craig. I'm age-wise, I'm like Rudy. I'll be 65 in November. But realistically, I am in better health shape, breathing and being able to exercise than I was in 1988 when I had to move to Florida.
Wow.
So I'm in better health than I was 30 years ago, and it's a modern day. Can I say the word miracle?
Well,
we're not allowed to.
For you, your life has been miraculously changed.
Miraculously changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to ask quickly? Go ahead. Carry on. I lost it there.
So it was in 2016. I think it was like February or March. We heard some rumors that Organo was coming out with this wonderful healthy weight system product, and I was asked to be one of the trial members of that. And so they sent me a 90-day supply, and it started in June of 2016. And in the next 90 days, I dropped 42 pounds.
Whoa.
I used the shake twice a day, did exactly what they told me to do, and ended up in Tampa at the event at the Tampa Bay Lightning Center, and I was down 42 pounds then at that time. So it's a great product. The taste is amazing. That's what really sold me on it. And no chalky system, because I have tried a lot of that stuff in my life, and I have maintained or lost weight even since then. Since Organo came into my life right now, when I was on the tank, I was about 368 pounds at that point. And right now, I'm like in the middle 240s. So I'm wearing a pair of jeans right now that a friend of mine gave me. He used to be 85 pounds lighter than me.
Oh. That's quite remarkable. I might ask you, and I have the deepest respect for doctors and physicians and that. But what is your doctor? What did your specialist? He must have been pleasantly surprised with your progress.
She was very surprised. The very first time I went in, after I came off of the oxygen tank, I walked into her room, and I was standing in the lobby, and she come out of her office to call my name, and she looked and she was like, Wendell? She said, I wouldn't have recognized you. She said, where's your tank? I said, I don't need it. So it's it's a fantastic thing. It's a great story, and my goal is to reach like millions of people, to be able to help people create hope, because we're all looking for hope. And if one person can have that drastic of a change in their life, then other people can have that same change. And it's just somebody has to be the forerunner, like you were the lady who knew Ganoderma, and you were a forerunner. And because of that, there's people like me out there that their health has totally done a change around. And I would totally recommend Organo to anybody who just wants to have a better coffee. The flavor is fantastic, but it's a better coffee. And it's I know Starbucks is a big thing in the States with Dunkin' Donuts, but we have one up here called Tim Hortons, and our coffee is retail is basically half the price of the Tim Hortons coffee, and it has benefits besides. So.
Yeah, what if you could drink a coffee that actually contributes to your health and wellness rather than take away from it, right? And what if it was affordable? What if it was convenient? What if it tastes great? And what if you could actually feel the benefits? With some people within minutes, within an hour, the first day, and for sure within the first week. I mean, this product, I can tell still every morning the shift I feel when I start drinking my coffee, right?
I didn't know if I was allowed to say that, but this is my king of coffee. When I get up in the morning, anybody who has had or does have a lung condition, when you lay down at night, they have a tendency to start building up some fluids in it or whatever. And I get up in the morning and I pour a king of coffee. When I'm done the cup, I don't have to take any medications. I've actually come off of medications that I've taken for 30 years.
Well, you know what? Let's just talk about the King of Coffee for a minute. That King of Coffee is an organic coffee with organic spore powder, which is basically the strongest part of the herb, of the mushroom.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what the herb looks like. And when it reseeds itself, it releases something called spores, right? And it's like be like a flower pollinating itself, except the spores go out and they fly around, and then they hopefully land on, deteriorating wood, and that's where they like to grow. But anyways, the shells of the spore powder have two shells around them, and they're hard shells, and the nutrition that our body desires and loves, the power of the spore, is inside those two shells. Now, most companies globally, when you consume their spore powder capsules, you're only getting approximately a 15% cracked shell rate, which means 15% of it you're getting the nutrition, the other 85% is just going on through. It's just roughage. Organo has a patented process, shell cracking process, that I actually witnessed at the Research and Development Center in China. I looked through and I could see through the microscope what was going on. I was so excited, you guys. Well, I'm a Ganoderma geek, so most people can maybe get it that excited, but I was like, oh. Anyways, we have a 99.9% shell crack rate. So when you take one of our capsules, it is like you're getting nutrition, and we talk about it like being rocket fuel. I think Mr. Shane Moran, his favorite saying is rocket fuel for your body. That's what's enriched in our organic King coffee. Okay, the King of Coffee. That's an amazing coffee. And again, these are small sachets that you can carry with you. You add hot water, you stir, you sip your whatever. And another thing, this is pre-brewed coffee. So when we add hot water to it, it tastes like it was just brewed. I remember making a cup once in a restaurant, and my server had brought me some water, and I was just stirring it up, and she was like, "Is that the smell of that?" It's our business card. I mean, I gave her a sample, and guess what? She liked it and started it. It's that easy. But anyways, so I wanted to make sure that we put out a little bit of information on that King of Coffee. And you say this is your brew, right?
Yes, that's my favorite brew. And I'm like Rudy and Craig in the evening. If I want a treat, there's nothing better in there than the mocha. That is such a special treat. And That's my dessert in a cup.
Well, it is. There's so many people. It's an unfair advantage if we hand out mocha to people who have sweet tooths, because it's like crack in a cup. You can't stop. You're going to be, you're like addicted after, but it's a good thing, okay?
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Was it the right thing, I should say? But that's just really what people say. What is this? What's in this? Quickly, I want you to also, just a question. I'm not trying to lead you into anything, but I hear this a lot, and I just want, maybe from your point of view, if you could share. A lot of people really feel that they feel happier or lighter, not as maybe, not saying that it's lifting a depression, but just have a lighter mood, feel just on an emotional level, a shift even with some of these products. And I hear that over and over, and do you feel that too? Because I know I do.
Absolutely, and one of the things you mentioned with Rudy is and Rudy said it was, he's now able to take on 3 or 4 projects at one time and multitask. I've always had, my wife told me, and people have told me that I've had a pretty sharp mind, but even myself over the last couple of years, I really noticed that I retain things, and it's because my mind, my brain, is getting more oxygen, so it becomes sharper and more powerful through the whole. I don't know how all that works. I don't know how it works. I just know it works, and I feel so much better, and to the point that I absolutely, I'm reading all the time now because I want to know more.
Well, you know what? It's circulation. I think blood's getting where it needs to. I think it is also, well, for example, they are in China. They give Ganoderma. They treat it for altitude sickness with their mountain climbers. Oxygen is so important. But when your brain, when everything's working, when you're feeling better, you do better. And when you can feel better holistically, and I'm a holistic health practitioner, so when you can feel better on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, that's huge. And I'm just going to talk a little quickly now about, just briefly, that the ancient Chinese believed that this product had a spiritual potency. And after working with it for almost 17 years, I do agree with that. And I'm not talking religion. I'm talking that we all have a spirit within us, and that when you're not connected to yourself, how can you if you can't connect to your own spirit, it's very difficult for you to connect to others. So they know now that there is a heart-brain connection, and there's an organization down in the United States, and I believe they call it Heart Mouth. They've actually done tests where they are recognizing that the heart responds and literally is responding before the brain. And they teach people how to connect the heart and the brain, how to work together, which is quite amazing, and which is another call sometime, or another broadcast that we can talk about. But in the Eastern philosophies, they believe that the heart is the connector of the upper 3 chakras and the lower 3 chakras. And, Dr. Terry Willard, who is one of Canada's renowned herbalists who loves red reishi or Ganoderma. There's, a number of names, Lingzi, they call it in China, Yongqi in Korea. And he went and lived with some of the ancient herbalists as he was studying Ganoderma many years ago. He wrote a book, and I actually had the great pleasure of talking to him. And he feels that what he learned from them was that there's something that Mother Earth gives this herb. It's a gift from our divine creator, and that it has the ability to actually open up the heart, open up your heart. And in the Eastern philosophy, they call it the heart chakra. And I know that people feel different for many reasons using this amazing mystical herb. I'm just saying that after 16, 17 years, I've seen people who are very downtrodden, who had a lot of emotional baggage and stuff, and were also maybe not and maybe that was what was contributing to their illness. It was how they were thinking. And I watched these people shift over a period of time, over 5, 6, 7, 8 months. They were totally different than when I first met them. So I don't know. I'm just saying these are things that I've noticed. And I think one thing that we need more in this world, and I know that you'll agree with me, Wendell, because I know your heart, is that we need more people coming from our heart. So if we could have a world where people would think a little bit more on that level and less on worrying and criticizing and fighting and arguing and being negative or whatever. So I just know that people feel a lot better for whatever reason. I'm just saying we can't explain it all. It is what it is. But what we do know is that anybody who is on this broadcast and is listening to these amazing, life-changing stories, be sure to try our product, to get more information. Go ahead and Google Ganoderma. Check out things like triterpenoids, adenosine, organic germanium, ganoderic acid. Go and Google these things, and then you know what? Check this out. This is quite an amazing herb. Wendell, I'm going to hand it back to you for a minute for you to kind of wrap up things here, and then we're going to say that we went over our call by 12 minutes, so we better get rolling here. But thank you so much. And so what would you like to say just to wrap things up?
I'd just like to say thank you, Marianne, for allowing me to come on the show today and to tell a bit of my story. I am a best-selling author through Amazon in a book called Endurance. I have co-written. My chapter is in there, my story, and I believe you have a copy of that.
Yes, I do.
And it just tells a bit of what Sharon and I went through and the struggle that I had through some of my situations and my health decline, and now my health has just totally turned around. And how it takes time. We have to be persistent with consistency. That's where people see and get that it really works. And it'll be 5 years, the end of August, that Sharon and I have been using organic products. And it's really just now, I've had 2 texts or messages this morning on my phone from 2 different ladies who wanted to know more about what I use daily. And they're both going to go to Sharon's and my website and buy the product. It's a great company. It's a greater product. And it's the product and the people that make the company. And we have such fantastic leadership in this company. Just thank you so much for allowing me this time. And Rudy, thank you for your story. Craig, thank you for your story. And Marianne, you bless me. And I love you.
Well, God bless you, and I love you too, and God bless everybody. Thank you for sharing your heartfelt story, and we look forward to maybe reading your book and hearing more. I want to give you all a great thank you for attending this broadcast, for sharing it with people. I know it went a little longer. I want to thank each and every one of you guys, and wish you a great week. We look forward to seeing Mr. Craig Hill next week and hearing more about him. Oh, we're going back to Wendell. Wendell, real quick, hold up here. There's our shakes.
There's our shake. Love it. I still use it every day.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, that's it, everyone. Hope to.
Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the love, the leadership.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm very honored to have had you all. Thanks, OG, and thanks, OG Nation. We'll certainly be meeting up with you again sometime. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.